buying the dirt bike itself isn't the only expense you need. If you're looking for your first dirt bike or you're trying to get back into riding, I just want to give you a quick breakdown to compare prices new versus used so that you know what to expect and that you don't have to blow out your savings account just to get started dirt biking. So the first thing is knowing what type of bike you want. So you can get a trail bike, enduro bike, motocross bike, or a dual sport bike. But if you're just starting out and you're only riding off-road, I highly encourage getting a trail bike. Not only are they a lot cheaper, which is a huge advantage, but they're a lot easier to ride and learn on. But if you need a street legal bike, then you should start out on a dual sport bike. Either way, most of these are generally thousands cheaper than a motocross or enduro bike. Comparing a brand new dirt bike to one that's 1 year old or a few years old, depending on where you are, like right now, sometimes used a few years old is almost as much as a new bike, but you can still save maybe $1,000 or $2,000 and have one that has really low hours. So say for example a Honda CRF 250F out the door is probably around $5,000, but if you buy one that's a couple years old, you can get it for maybe $4,000. And then comparing new versus one that's 5 to 10 years old, you can save quite a bit more depending on the demand for that specific bike and what condition it's in. So a Yamaha TTR 230, probably out the door $4,500 to $5,000. But if you're buying one that's 10 years old, so 2013, they haven't changed at all, so you're not really missing out on much other than having a brand new bike. But you can probably buy one that's 10 years old for $2,500 or $3,000, so almost half the price, saving a couple $1,000 just by buying one that's 10 years old, and it's still going to be just about as reliable. It just has a few more hours on it. But if you're just starting out, then you really need to know that buying the dirt bike itself isn't the only expense you need. Now if you have a truck, then you don't need to buy another vehicle to transport it somewhere to go riding. But you need simple stuff like strapping the bike down or doing simple maintenance or riding gear. And you could spend thousands of dollars on all this stuff. And while spending more can give you better functioning, better quality, safer equipment, spending more isn't always better for you, especially if you're on a tight budget. You can spend probably a couple $1,000s on used gear, but if this is your first dirt bike, you might only need to spend a few $100. So if you're not sure the essential items you need, check out my video here on the 5 things you need when you get your first dirt bike. This is Kelly Fager from Motocross Hideout. Learn more, ride more, so that you can stay safe and have fun for many years to come on a budget.